You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential, personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Welcome to Rom Wills, About That Business. Learn to spot a demographic. Now, that's very important. That's very important because when you're in a business, you're serving someone. You're serving a group. You're serving, whether it's a subculture, like say you have a t-shirt business and you selling like t-shirts maybe to fans of certain type of music, or comic book fans, or you got athletic wears, like who you selling to. Like one of the things that I might do is start an athletic wear company, particularly fitness wear and stuff. So if I'm doing that, I'm like, okay, who am I selling to? Like, learn how to spot it. Learn, whatever the case is. It could be selling to, you could have a transportation company and your purpose is to deliver to certain types of stores. Like say you have an urban farm. What demographic are you serving with that farm? Like, what type of people are going to buy from an urban farm? That's one. It's not just you just put the food out there and, people buy it. I mean, some people do that, and I might get a little bit into that in my next podcast on this channel. But it was like, okay, who's going to buy this particular type of food? Like maybe you have some herbal stuff. That's a good thing. Who's buying that type of herbs? Like what type of people in that demographic can also be the type of stores that serve those type of people. So you might have some herbal products. You got an urban farm, you grow some herbal products. Okay, what type of people are going to buy them? And then what type of stores sell to those type of people? You got to learn how to spot all that. You have to pay attention. Now, the key thing to paying attention to is just simply people watching. Now, quicker way, you got some money. They have plenty of companies that actually track all of these things. You spend several $1,000s, they'll tell you your demographic for you, who's buying it, their profile, what type of people, money, and everything. But one of the things is, if you're starting out in business, you might not be able to afford several $1,000s yet. It's something to do once you're really balling, but until you get to that point, you have to get up there and pay attention to people. You have to pay attention. Like, okay, let's use the herbal example again. You might have to go in places like stores and just sit around, just observe them. What are the people wearing? What's their racial background? I know people can get prickly about race and want to be on we on the world stuff. But the reality is sometimes certain races will buy stuff. If you want to sell, hot sauce. If you want to sell hot sauce, fine. You got to find those, a lot of black folks, they'll put hot sauce on everything, especially in the South. They get hot sauce on everything. So it's like, okay, let me find those people like that. Or yoga. You want to open a yoga studio. It might not help to open it up in the hood. It would help something, but, if you're really trying to make money or something, you might have to go to a predominantly white upper class area where you'll have an abundance of yoga studios or whatever. You have to learn how to spot that, though. You got to figure it out. You could do that. I don't know. You could actually use social media as a cheat. Social media as a cheat. Facebook, Instagram. Put in search terms like, I don't know, herbal products or something. See who's dealing with that. Or a certain type of music. Like maybe you have a business selling t-shirts that promote a certain type of music. It's like, okay, put that in. All right, what type of people? And you actually, a little trick, you do need to eyeball them. What type of race? What type of social class? And that's a little bit harder to tell, but what type of social class? What kind of things they into as well? And sometimes you can, even though I talked about the report, sometimes if you put in certain terms, somebody might have studied, especially if it's a subculture. You can find those for free, maybe, depending on the culture. Sometimes you might have to immerse yourself in a culture. Like, say you selling products that are secondary or tertiary products to skateboarders. Now I know if for whatever reason, if I wanted to get into that, I got about 2 or 3 skateboarding shops near me, like within reasonable walking distance too. Or I know one place that has like a nice little skate park. So I might just sit there and just be like, try not to look like a creepy old man, but just say, okay, what kind of clothes they wearing? All right, what's their look? What's their vibe? All right, let me create some products that tap into that. Just always paying attention to people, paying attention to stuff. Like when I'm on Facebook, sometimes some random group will come across. And it's like, okay, what type of stuff would they like? Then you can tap in. It's like, boom. You immerse yourself in there. You learn the culture, the language of a culture, or the language of that particular demographic. And it's like, oh, boom. Study, sometimes just being around it. Like, I remember years ago, I used to go to poetry readings a lot at this one place. So I would start picking up on little nuances. I was like, okay, if I want to sell to these people, what they into? Okay, more of a bohemian type of crowd. So if I want to sell them clothes, maybe not the standard stuff, but stuff that kind of stresses individuality. Like, say, I'm a jewelry maker or something. When you're dealing with the bohemian thing, they stress individuality. So what I would do is, maybe have like unique jewelry pieces or something to say, oh yeah, I can make you something like that. Or maybe, some t-shirts that kind of celebrate that culture. But the thing is, you got to learn how to spot it. So you want to when you look at any culture, you want to start with, or demographic, look at their physicality. Try to ascertain as best as possible their economic level. As best as possible. It can be hard, and that takes some practice. How do they wear their hair? That says a lot. Because if you, for example, in the black community, there's a big natural hair movement. So if you wanted to, you spot that demographic, it's like, well, maybe go to a natural hair show and see what type of products are selling. Definitely natural products, even if it's not specifically a hair product. Or it could be clothes that, that tends to be a bohemian type of crowd anyway. So, clothes on that level. But yeah, you want to pay attention to their race, economic background as best as possible. Look for any signs of any of their religious affiliation. Look for signs of the religious affiliation. Oh, what else? How they talk. Just try to listen to them. What do they talk about? Did they talk politics? Did he talk about like the latest anime coming out? Something like learn the language of it. Learn the language of the demographic. These are honestly, these are very important things. And if you can really master that, then you know how to create a business. So anyway, that's it for now. We're going to take it a step further in our next episode. So let's go make that money.